guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading for you guys. This one is all about important news that you guys need to know. So if you guys are new to pick a card readings, I'm going to give you guys a quick little rundown of how it works. So over here we have pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you're the most drawn to. Once you're done choosing, you can scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's linked to your specific card, so you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about important news that you guys need to hear right now. If you guys like to choose with crystals, I'll be popping some crystals on there right now. All right, so if you guys like to choose with crystals, here are our crystal options. Over here we have some Aura Spirit Quartz. This is Tanzanite Aura Quartz. This over here is Aqua Aura Quartz. This over here is Sunset Aura Quartz. This over here is Angel Aura Quartz. And this over here is a large piece of Super 7. So take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you're the most drawn to. Once you're done choosing, you can scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's linked to your specific card, so you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading. I also do want to mention this new ring that I got. My friend Tara got me this ring for my birthday, and it's like so pretty. It's a piece of rose quartz, so cute. Anyway, without further ado, let's hop right into this video starting now. All right, so group number 1, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about important news that you need to know regarding your guys' future. So let's hop right into it. All right, you guys, so the first card that we're starting off with here is Cupid. So this can mean literally that we're being struck by Cupid and we're going to find our soulmate or twin flame quite soon. So it can mean that you're going to start a relationship. It can mean that it's reinvigorating or resparking a current relationship that you have. Or this can even be that we're struck by a very creative idea and we get like struck with this love of life and this happiness and this creativity. It can also mean that sometimes we're playing Cupid as well for some of the people that we know. So we're going to add some more cards on here to find a little bit more information on this, to find out exactly why Cupid is showing up for you guys at pile number 1. So the next card that we have is, ooh, the Rose. Quite freaking powerful considering. And then we also have the Thatch or the Whip in traditional Lenormand cards. So talking about this can mean that we are experiencing love for the first time. This can also indicate that we're kind of blossoming into our maturity, or we're blossoming into something new that we've never really experienced before regarding love and regarding beauty. This can also mean that we're struck with like a glow up and we feel completely new about ourselves, and we want to have a rebirth and renewal about the way that we look, and we might change something about ourselves, or we might desire to change up our style or our look about us in some sort of way. So you guys might be looking a little bit into that. But when we have the Rose and Cupid right next to each other, this absolutely indicates that we're being struck with love or a crush, some kind of romantic gesture. Somebody might pop into your life showing some romance towards you. If you guys are in a relationship, I definitely feel like there's like this re-spark of the relationship in some sort of way, and that your lover is going to surprise you somehow. But whenever we do have the Whip or the Thatch over here, this can indicate a possible few different things. So I'm just going to kind of go through what all of it means. Usually when it's next to Cupid and the Rose, the more likely meaning of this is sometimes we get into a little bit of a heyday with our lover. So if you guys are currently in a relationship, it can mean that, you know, you're re-sparking the invigoration, but there's also like new things that you're trying together, because the Whip can indicate like sometimes some like romantic things. I try to keep it PG, but the Whip can sometimes indicate a few things romantically. It can also indicate that we're experiencing, again, like I was saying, some new things that we've never experienced before in our love lives, and it gets a little bit more deeper than we've ever experienced. We're exploring ourselves and our love lives deeper, things like that. So it's just a lot of questions opening up about those types of things. I also do want to mention that sometimes this can mean you're really hard on yourself and the way that you look and your appearance. And I do want to point out that when we have Cupid and the Rose, this is like we're renewing and rebirthing how we used to think about ourselves. This can mean that you're usually very picky about the way that you look, and there's a lot of things that you pick at about yourself, and you're finally going to soon be struck by this idea of, you know what, I really love myself. And I feel like a new lover might come into your life that actually increases a lot of your confidence. This can also be talking about career. It's less likely to be talking about career for most people, just because we have the Rose and Cupid next to each other. So this is mostly talking about love life and your own beauty and the way you view yourself. But it can also be talking about career and being struck with a brand new idea, especially if this idea revolves around like beauty or, you know, fashion, anything to do with like Venus type of energy. So any of that deals with like the way that you look, your aesthetic, your fashion, the way that you decorate, anything to deal with like aesthetic and design and stuff like that. So if you guys work in a career that deals with any of those types of things, or like makeup or hair or anything like that, this can also indicate that we're getting our butt in gear to make a lot of money in this area. If you guys are confused about a career, I would consider maybe that this might be a sign to say go towards things that deal with like aesthetic or fashion or modeling or makeup or hair or clothing design, fashion, stuff like that. So I would definitely consider that if that's something that you guys are interested in, if you guys are more curious about career at this time and not about love at all. And it does also indicate, because we do have the Jack of clubs over here, and he always indicates that we are whipping our butt into gear to like really shape up. It can also mean that you're shaping yourself up in terms of love and romance because of a past thing, but also in terms of career, it's like we're getting ready and shaping up to make a lot of money, and we're really sorting out a lot of different things in our lives in order to create more of an income and more prosperity and more abundance. So that is another big thing for you guys. So I'm going to shuffle another oracle deck over here and get a little bit more information for you guys. All right. So clearly this card wanted to come out. We're going to get one more here. Maybe two. All right, this one obviously really wanted to come out. Let's try to get one more here. I feel like this one. All right. So with these new cards coming out, we have the Explorer, the Sovereign, and the Pillar. So I definitely think that in terms of the way that you guys view yourself, I feel like you're going to get a lot more comfortable with yourself with the Sovereign. This is like coming at peace with yourself and finally like giving yourself love and ending like that war battle that might be in you of lack of confidence or the way that you might judge yourself too harshly. You're finally really starting to let that go and building a strong foundation of love and confidence, essentially, when we have the Pillar. And this also indicates that we're getting a little bit more aligned to our career and creating some more solid foundations and solid choices in terms of what we want to do in our career, or building up something that we've had an idea of for a long time, and we're being struck by the creativity of Cupid to come down and also help build and solidify your guys' visions in terms of career, also in terms of love. I feel like somebody pretty solid is probably going to be coming in, but you will need to work a lot on yourself. The person that you have coming into your life or your current relationship is going to challenge you quite a bit when we have the thatch or whip in traditional Lenormand. So this is definitely a bit of a challenge. We're learning deeper things than we ever learned in any other relationship before. It can also mean that in your current relationship, you're finally getting to a much deeper level than you've ever experienced before, and you're going to be learning a lot of things together. And we have two snakes that are climbing these pillars that are kissing each other. So it's almost like both of you have this energy that can be very snake-like, where both of you kind of bite at each other, but it ends up being a big learning lesson for you guys, and it is like a positive thing that is like destined to be. It's almost like you two are these very strong pillars with very strong ideals that are going to be breaking each other down a little bit in order to solidify a more solid structure, in order to add a little bit more values and ideas between you both that'll help you guys solidify more as a couple and as people, things like that. It can also indicate a friendship for some of you guys if love is completely out of the question, but for those of you that are in the age of like finding love and stuff like that. I would definitely say it's more of a love relationship. And then we do also have the Explorer. So I feel like you guys are exploring brand new ideas. You're opening up your eyes and kind of like gaining insight. Again, being struck by Cupid of creativity, and it's going to get the gears of your mind going very intensely in terms of what you want to do, in terms of how you want to increase your income, especially if it deals anything around beauty or Venus type of stuff. And I feel like, again, that peace that you're going to get, that peace of mind will help add clarity into your life, and you're going to be able to explore ideas so much more because of this. So let's add on a couple more cards here to find out a little bit more information. All right, I wanted exactly 2 cards from tarot, and like the second I started shuffling, they of course pop right out. So we have the Queen of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. So you guys are definitely starting a new business venture if you guys are interested in that sort of thing when we have the Three of Pentacles. I do feel like you guys might get help from maybe a certain group, or maybe you guys are looking into, asking certain people what they've done in terms of their business. Somehow you're getting a little bit of help. Maybe you guys are seeking out certain manufacturers or something like that, or just seeking out some sort of advice or guidance from other people who maybe work in the industry and things like that when we have the Three of Pentacles over here. So that's definitely something to consider. I do feel like there's a big business venture coming for you guys pretty shortly when we have this card. And then with the Queen of Cups over here, this is definitely like we're seeking deeper emotion, we're feeling deeper emotion, we're feeling more love for ourselves, we're probably doing something in the industry that deals with, again, like aesthetic and things like that, and the way that things look and the way that they appear. And you're also coming at more of an emotional, peaceful state with yourself as well. So you're gaining a lot more emotion. You're gaining emotional clarity, emotional balance. You're becoming a lot more like in tune with yourself. This can also be tuning up to your more psychic, intuitive abilities as well. So I do want to point that out for you guys. And again, you're just creating a much more solid structure. I feel like you're going to feel deeper emotion than you've ever felt before, just like I was saying. And you're going to explore love at a deeper state than you've ever explored before. And then, yeah, the Three of Pentacles, lots of business stuff. I feel like you guys are going to be increasing your income pretty shortly. I would say this is about 11 months away for you guys when I look at this card, so definitely keep that in mind. We have the pillar that kind of reminds me of the number 11, then we have the 11 over here, so I'm really feeling like this is about 11 months away from you guys from actually blossoming into fruition, so definitely keep that in mind for you guys who chose pile number 1, and that is what I see for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. All right, so group number 2, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about important news that you need to know regarding your future. So let's hop right into it. All right, you guys, so you guys start off with the key over here with the number 33, which is an angel number. So if you guys have noticed 33 being like popping up in your life whenever you look at the clock, or, you know, if you're driving down the road and a license plate has the number 33 on it. If it's been following you, this is confirmation that you guys picked the right pile. And the key over here resembles, I do want to point out, it doesn't matter if you even haven't seen the number 33, it might just be a sign for you right now. So it doesn't matter whether you've been seeing it or not, but you guys might have been seeing it, especially since you guys chose this pile. Anyway, so the key resembles that we're unlocking a new area of our lives. It's almost like you guys have been walking around with a hidden chest in your soul that's never been unlocked before. This can be unlocking the key to your heart. This can be unlocking some new, deeper information. This can be unlocking some new abilities or talents that you guys have had that you guys haven't unlocked or opened before. So we're going to add some more cards on here to find out a little bit more information about the key, but the key is a very powerful card in the Lenormand deck, so definitely keep that in mind. The next 2 cards that we have surrounding this one is the garden and kind of like the cradle where the handmaiden or the maiden is taking care of that thing, or not thing, it's probably a human in there, but yeah, anyway, wrong way to refer to a baby is by saying that thing. Anyway, over here with the garden and the key, I do feel like you guys are unlocking a new vast area of life. This can also be that you're getting a key to a new home as well, so you guys might be moving. You guys also might be expanding your family when we do have the cradle over here, but this can also be talking about this is an idea that you guys have had for a long time, or this is a part of yourself that you've been nurturing, a certain talent that you've been nurturing for a long time that you're finally going to unlock and almost get the key to like mastery of it and feel like confident about it. But I do also feel like there's a key to a new home over here. So if you guys are thinking about moving and maybe expanding like your family, things like that, that can also be a part of this. This can also be talking about that you're expanding your home life, because essentially babies can just represent that we're expanding something. And so this can also indicate that we're expanding our career. We're expanding our home by moving into something that's a bit bigger. We can be expanding our certain knowledge or certain talents that we've been cradling for a while. So you guys are unlocking this new area of expansion in your life, and I do feel like you're reaching new heights, because we do have these hot air balloons over here that are just like taking off from this garden. And so you guys are definitely growing and reaching new heights than you've ever reached before. So definitely look at how that's affecting your life. When we do have clubs showing up, this can be our finances that are increasing in a very unpredictable way, since we have the 5 of clubs. Then over here with the diamonds. This is the 8 of diamonds, and so this can talk about our career is expanding. This can talk about new news coming in, new opportunities coming in, and definitely that we're expanding our knowledge and our talents that we've been working on for a long time. Then we do also have the 8 of swords over here. So this can be that, you know, we've been almost holding ourselves back from stepping into our new talents or expanding ourselves or allowing ourselves to expand our resources or our, you know, home that we live at, things like that. We've been cautious about expanding that in the past because we are worried about whether or not we're going to be able to afford it, or whether or not we're going to be able to upkeep with it, or whether or not it's even going to work out, things like that. But I do feel like you guys are finally ready to take that chance, and this number 33 even popping up here means that the creativity is there, because 3s represent our creativity, our talents, and together they equal a 6, which equals like harmony. So if you guys are ever interested in music or like singing, stuff like that, I do definitely see that you guys have probably been using your voice for something a lot. And in the area that you've been using your voice, I feel like your talents have been increasing quite a lot, and you guys are ready to finally expand in that certain area of your life, and you guys are ready for that change and stuff like that. So let's shuffle these cards and add a couple more on here to find out some more information. I feel like this card is significant, so we'll pull that one out. So we have compassion over here. Oh, and then 2 more, which is exactly what I was looking for. We have surrender and the creator. All right, so again, if you guys have been working on some sort of creative talent of your guys's, totally bad grammar there, but I do feel like you guys are just kind of having this magic wand that's, again, unlocking kind of like the key, and it's almost like your talents are being like illuminated and being shined from the stage. And so definitely keep that in mind. Then we also have surrender over here. I feel like you guys have been growing for so long, and it's time for you guys to just relax and kind of go with the flow of whatever is about to happen for you guys, because I feel like big things are happening, big things are growing behind the scenes, and this is why we have this big gigantic tree that looks like it's been growing forever. So you guys might not even realize that under everything, under the shadow, or within your guys' soul, because again, we have like this dark kind of like background over here, which indicates that this tree is sort of hidden in the background. When we have this tree that's growing and it has a dark background, this is like we don't even recognize that we've been doing this the whole time. We don't even recognize that our talents have been like blossoming in such a way, or that we've been expanding in such a way that we can actually, you know, get a bigger property, buy a bigger home, expand ourselves and our resources and stuff like that. We've been growing this prosperous, abundant tree for so long. We're actually ready to finally illuminate it and use it. It's almost like I can see these 2 cards being very connected, because it's almost like this wand is made out of wood that was grabbed from one of the tree branches, and it has like this magic in it that's ready to be like and shine out to the universe. This compassion card over here, this is about finally realizing your place, and that you're able to actually pick the fruit of this tree, because kind of I'm almost imagining that this like animal skull. I feel like this is like a deer or something like that, that has these antlers, that the antlers have been brushing on the leaves of the tree, and you can see that he has all of these like things kind of like hanging off of him. So this is like being compassionate with yourself, and yes, you've been working on something for so long that has already bloomed so much to where you can reap the benefits, you can reap the rewards of this, but it requires a little bit more care and a little bit more nurture. So you're going to need to nurture it more, but you can still pick the fruit of it as it's blossoming, the ones that are ripe. But of course, keep nurturing it so that it keeps growing and keeps growing throughout the rest of your life. And I think that that's what's happening, and that's the significant stuff that's happening right now for you guys. I'm going to shuffle this deck really quick, and hopefully we can get 2 more tarot cards on top of this. All right, so I keep getting 4 cards coming out for you guys, so we're just going to go with the 4, even though I was trying to just get 2, but no worries. All right, so the cards that we have here is the Queen of Wands, Temperance, the King of Wands, and the Moon. So we have both the King and Queen of Wands. You guys are entering a stage of being very creative, and it's almost like, you know, you guys still have a path to go on when we have the Temperance, and it's almost like finally we're mixing a few talents that we've had, or maybe we've learned something in the past, or maybe we've gone to school for a certain thing that we ended up, you know, not really feeling in the end of it, and we didn't really want to like utilize it in a certain way, but now it's like almost adding in all the things that you've learned, all the things that you've picked up throughout the rest of, or throughout your whole life so far, and you're finally going to use them in a very creative way almost all together, and it's almost like it's finally creating the bigger picture for you guys. And it's still a little bit unknown when we have the Moon over here. And there's still a lot of things that we can be unsure about, and a lot of things that we still are waiting to be revealed, but the creativity is here. And so the important news for you guys is that you still do have this path of huge expansion, but with the King and Queen of Wands, it's like you guys have all the tools to make this happen. You have like almost the mastery of this in order to like reap the rewards and reap the benefits and create like this everlasting tree. So I almost feel like whatever you guys are doing, especially career-wise right now, and with your certain ideas that you're having, this has the potential to carry you out through your lifetime of being abundant and prosperous. So whatever ideas that you guys are having right now are definitely helping lead you towards those things. You guys might not even know what they are right now, but I promise you when we have Temperance, it's almost like everything that you're doing in this moment, even if it feels like it's not the right path, it is part of the big picture. So even if you feel like you are unsure about what you want to do or that kind of stuff, and you're still trying to figure it out, whatever you're doing right now is going to have a part in the big picture of things. And it's going to somehow help you out having all of this knowledge that is going to actually like come together at the end of the day. And it's a very like alchemical card, the Temperance, because it's like mixing oil and water. It's mixing the things that should never mix. You're almost going to be listening to this reading being like, okay, well, I don't understand how my schooling for being a doctor is going to fit in with my desire to be a singer or an actor or something like that. But I promise you, somehow they're going to mix in the end, and it's going to feed into the bigger picture of things, stuff like that. That's just a random example, by the way. Not that it might be accurate for you at all, but just a random example. And there's still a path ahead when we have the Temperance. It's almost like there's still a distance, we still have a walk ahead of us, but it's because of the fact that this tree is going to be prosperous for the rest of our lives, and you'll be able to pick the fruit of your labor that you're working on right now, and it's going to feed into this tree that's going to bring you prosperity and abundance for the rest of your life. As long as you keep nurturing it and keep feeding it, this is something that's going to be pretty big for you, and it's going to carry you through, and you're unlocking this area of yourselves really soon. The number 3 is really sticking out to me. So this can sometimes talk about months, and sometimes it can also talk about years. In this case, since we have a lot of these like deeper cards, I would say this is a more long-lasting thing. So I'm seeing a bit more like 2 to 3 years from now is going to be probably one of the most prosperous times for you guys, where you feel like things have just aligned in such a way where you're going to be so sure of yourself, and the big things that you're almost doing right now, the big decisions that you're going to be making over the next 2 to 3 years will bring you to a very prosperous, solidified place in about 3 years from now, where you guys feel like you're you're sitting on your throne, essentially. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys who picked pile number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. All right, so group number 3, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about important news that you need to know regarding your future. So let's hop right into it. All right, so pile number 3, this is what we have for you guys. This is what we start off with over here, which is essentially a guy sitting in a basket of grapes and enjoying his wine. So this is telling me that very shortly you guys are going to be able to reap the benefits of the things that you have been planning for so long. And this is essentially telling me that you're picking the grapes of the things that you desire, which is a metaphor for like the things that you're wanting in life, the lifestyle that you want, the things that you're doing in order to attain that lifestyle right now are going to be paying off for you guys. And I would say that this is about 4 months from now. I'm just feeling like somehow 4 to 5 months is coming for me from this card. So I feel around 4 to 5 months from now, you're going to be at a place where I think you're going to get some sort of opportunity. And this opportunity is going to make you feel like whatever you've been working on right now is going to start to show prosperity and abundance, and it's going to start to pay off for you guys. And you're going to be able to almost like sit in a pile of, you know, the grapes that you've been sowing, or not sowing, the grapes that you've been picking, and the weave of the web that you've been sowing is going to show some opportunity and show some prosperity for you guys. So you guys might be working on something right now that's already being prosperous for you guys, but I do feel like 4 to 5 months from now there's going to be just some sort of bigger opportunity or some big step that you guys are going to be taking, or you're just going to feel really good about something, and there's going to be more abundance flowing into your life in 4 to 5 months from now. 3 for some of you guys, since we have the 3 of hearts right here, and hearts usually do kind of indicate more of months. So definitely I feel like you guys are gaining some sort of like opportunity, or somehow your abundance is increasing and you're feeling really good about it. And let's add on the next 2 Lenormand cards to find out a little bit more information about what's happening for you guys that you need to know. So regarding this particular opportunity that you guys are getting, this woman can represent you. It can also represent somebody who's giving you this opportunity. But you guys actually need to watch out. Whenever we have the fox coming up, as you can see, he's like sniffing the chicken's butt over here. There's going to be probably somebody, could even be in your friends group, could even be in your family, something like that, where they feel like because of the fact that you're getting certain opportunities, or because of the fact that you're increasing your prosperity in a certain way, that they feel like they deserve a big part of it. And that's when we get the fox, because it can be a little bit sneaky. And it also shows that you're not going to be very aware of this particular situation, because the chicken is, of course, not even noticing the fox right behind him. So this is just the cards cautioning you to keep an eye out once you do reach certain opportunities, you reach certain successes, and you gain certain prosperities. Be careful who you tell, and be careful who is trying to get a little piece of that, or be careful who's trying to maybe tear down your success, or doesn't necessarily support your success, or maybe does support your success but in a way that is conniving, or they might not be telling you certain other intentions that they have. So definitely keep that in mind. And this always does deal with money, because we do have the 9 of clubs over here. The clubs always talk about money, and so what you guys need to be cautionary for is essentially somebody maybe who wants to borrow money from you, or somebody who wants a little piece of your success because they see you being successful and they are trying to connive their way into taking a little piece of that. So definitely be a little bit cautious for something like that showing up in your life. When we do have the woman over here, I do think everything's going to be okay, but this is the One of Pentacles or Ace of Pentacles that we have over here on the woman, and or not of Pentacles, so this is of Spades, which is the swords. And this can talk about somebody who can be a little bit manipulative with their words. And so I'd say definitely watch out for something like that if that's something that kind of resonates with you, or something that you've been kind of feeling under the radar a little bit. So definitely keep that in mind. But I do feel like solving this situation with putting your foot down and using your particular words in order to be very direct with people and be very assertive and truthful, stuff like that is going to help you in this particular situation. I know that doesn't seem like the most exciting news, but that is something that is coming up in the cards. So if you guys chose this pile, definitely be on the lookout for something like that. But the good news in all of this is that you will be getting a new opportunity and be reaping the benefits, and your efforts are going to be paying off in the next few months. So let's shuffle these cards to find out a little bit more information on this reading, to get a little bit of a deeper insight. All right, this card wanted to come up. So we have the Sage over here. It's a very good card to come up considering the current cards that we have over here. This card wants to come out. So we have, self-love over here. That's very important as well. And then our last card is the Seeker. So with these cards coming up, the Sage, definitely burn sage if you guys feel like something is going on for you guys, or if you feel like certain friends or family members or certain acquaintances that you might know might be having like ulterior motives. So definitely keep that in mind when we have these two cards. But the Sage is also, they offer, this card offers protection. So I do feel like you guys are going to be protected. You don't have to worry about it too much, but of course, like if you guys feel any sort of like, underlying feeling or something like that, definitely use Sage, set good intentions, and all will be well, especially if you guys get assertive with the way that you handle this, because this card does indicate being assertive. This can also indicate that we're being a little bit showy with what we have, and so if you guys tend to be very excited when new opportunities come, and you tend to share information with everyone, because the woman can be kind of provocative with the things that she owns or the opportunities that she gets, and sometimes that's what this card indicates. And so if you guys tend to be very show and telly about the things that you guys attain, I feel like that is where this energy is kind of like coming from. And so if you guys can incorporate a lot of self-love over here and get assertive with yourself and with people that might feel like they deserve a piece of what you have, definitely just get assertive with that and be like, no. But the Seeker over here, again, you guys are gaining opportunities. Their hands are out and they're in like this receiving pose. And so I do feel like, because we have the man in the bathtub over here with the grapes and stuff, enjoying his wine, which is basically you guys are enjoying your prosperous opportunities because of your efforts, you guys are in the area of receiving miracles. So the important news for you guys, you're going to be receiving a lot soon in the next few months in regards to what you guys have been putting out there and what you guys have been planning and what you guys have been manifesting and stuff like that. So definitely rewards are coming to you, but again, it is just cautioning you to be cautious, especially since we have Sage coming up. But that card is a great card of protection. I do want to point that out. Interesting thing that I'm noticing right now is we have a bunch of teeth in this particular card and a bunch of teeth in this particular card. And this is talking about a lot of self-confidence. If you guys have ever had dreams of your teeth falling out or your teeth breaking or something like that, or problems with your teeth, anything like that, even if you're having that in real life as well, usually that indicates that we're having problems with ourselves and we're being too self-critical. So I think that's why we also have the self-love card coming up over here, is because it might even be you that's stopping certain opportunities. This might not even actually be another person that's conniving against us. This can also be that it's our own mind, because we don't feel like we're worthy of receiving certain things, or we kind of like back away from certain opportunities because we don't feel like we're worthy of them. So this can be coming up when we need to receive self-love in order to receive the rewards and the benefits of our hard work. Right now, you guys might be closed off to that because there's not enough self-love there, and you guys don't maybe feel deserving of it. But you guys are. You are deserving of, receiving your teeth back, essentially, or receiving good tooth health. And this is all about self-love and self-confidence. This is about receiving self-confidence in order to receive your manifestations and your desires, is to feel and know that you're worthy. And the cards are saying that you are, since we have this beautiful peacock over here, it's saying that you are essentially a beautiful peacock and you need to show off those feathers a little bit more, but of course not in a provocative way, but in a productive, beautiful way of knowing your worth and self-respect and being assertive with yourself. So all that information's coming out right now. We're going to shuffle this tarot deck and hopefully get 3 more cards out of here, maybe 2, maybe even 4. We'll see what we'll see what happens and what comes out. All right, we will read all of these ones that just came out. So we do have over here the 9 of Pentacles. We also do have the 10 of Swords, and then we also have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords was actually kind of like bringing me back to this woman card that's technically the Ace of Swords, because we have the Spade over here. This is about being assertive with yourself. So also changing up your mindset a little bit, especially if you tend to be very like self-critical, because that's kind of like the second thing that I was picking up on over here, especially when we also have the 10 of Swords. If you guys tend to self-criticize, you will not receive all of the goodness that the universe has to offer you and give back to you from all of your hard work. So this is time to gain a lot of self-love, realize that you have beautiful talents that are ready to be shown off, and as soon as you realize that, you're going to be at this 9 of Pentacles stage. And the 9 of Pentacles is this, she's depicted as this independent woman who is very prosperous and has a lot to offer the world and things like that. It's so weird. Right when I said that, my computer over in this corner just turned on, which is my desktop computer. And that has never turned on before unless I touch it. And it literally just turned on right now, and I have no idea why. It has never done that in the history of all of my basically 10 years, over 10 years of having that desktop computer. That is so weird. And there is particularly a pink background. So what does that mean? Self-love, love for the self. That is the higher heart chakra, which is the pink chakra. This is, oh, and it just randomly turned off and made like an error noise. Weird. That is weird, guys. Oh my gosh. It basically, the background on my computer basically looks like the background of this. Weird. I haven't even turned on that computer in so long. Weird, and it just turned off. Okay, anyway, weird spiritual things are happening. Spirits are taking over the computer. Let the self-loathing go. Get self-confidence with the self-love. Allow self-love to pour in through that higher heart chakra. Allow it to expand. Also, if there is anyone that does seem to be conniving or with bad intentions, set your foot down. Be really stern with them and do it out of self-respect and self-love, because you know that your talents are worthy of you having the payout of your hard work. So that is essentially what your cards are saying today. Group number 3, let me see if there's anything else here to say. Because of this white dress that this woman is wearing in the 9 of Pentacles, I am getting a little bit of like a sense of innocence from you guys. You guys are almost entering a doorway that you've never really explored before, especially with your own talents, or maybe like starting your own business or starting something that you don't know where to begin on it maybe, or you're unsure like what the road ahead is going to look like. There's this sense of innocence because you're walking to a whole new realm, a whole new opportunity, a whole new door that's opening. And so there is this level of innocence, but in order to make it through here, you guys need to have a lot of confidence, self-confidence. Put your foot down when you need to. Know your worth, because your worth is a lot. Don't show off all of your feathers right away to every single person that's out there. Use them when you are ready to be creative and when you know that there's an opportunity for you to shine in the way that you want to shine, not just every little opportunity that comes to you. Know your worth, know your value. Get rid of anything that seems even remotely bad or gives you remotely bad feelings. Don't ever go for those things. And don't flaunt your talents to everyone. Don't flaunt your stuff to everyone. Use them in times of when you know that they're being respected, stuff like that, and use them for you. So that is definitely what I see in these cards, but just know that you also have all these talents. Don't deny that you have these talents. Don't feel insecure about your talents. You have a lot of talents, and that's what these cards are saying. So love you guys so much, group number 3. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. All right, so group number 4, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about important news that you guys need to know regarding your future. So let's hop right into it. All right, so group number 4, we start off with the train for you guys. So this can indicate that we are headed in a very sure direction and we finally have made a decision. So important news that you guys need to know is that I think there's going to be a big decision that you guys make pretty soon. We do also have the 5 of Spades over here, which is essentially very similar to the 5 of Swords. So this can also indicate that we make this decision, but sometimes we're worried about making decisions because we're scared of how it might affect other people. Sometimes we're worried about making decisions because we feel like there might be some negative things that we have to deal with along the road of making certain decisions, or we're scared of like maybe pissing people off or people taking advantage of us because we want to go in this direction, or people being mad about that kind of stuff. So I am seeing a little bit of like hesitation for a certain decision just because we have the 5 of Spades over here. And you guys will be making this decision, and I feel like it's going to be made in about 5 weeks from now, because these spades do usually indicate like sometimes days or weeks, but I'm feeling this is more of a weeks type of timeline when we do have this coming up over here. So definitely keep that in mind. I do feel like it's going to take a little while to sort out once you do make this decision, but I feel like there is an important decision being made between the timeline of now and 5 weeks from now, but I do feel like it will be made within the next 5 weeks. The next 2 cards to add a little bit more information to the story that we're having over here is we have the Man over here, and we also have the Tree. So sometimes the Man and the Tree together can sometimes represent that we're dealing with some health stuff, or we're redeciding on some health stuff. So you guys might be also feeling like you want to change your diet and become a little bit more natural. You guys might be drawn to becoming a little bit more holistic or things like that. So you guys might be making some decisions around that of how to handle some certain things. It doesn't always resemble like health stuff, but it can in certain scenarios. So I do want to point that out for those of you who might be watching this and that might apply to you, because again, this is a general reading, but it doesn't mean it's going to apply to all of you in the same way, but it can sometimes indicate those things. So another meaning about this, because trees are about growth, this can be that we are on this journey of wanting to grow into and blossom into the person that we desire to be. And sometimes we might be worried about what other people might think about that and stuff along the lines of that. So if this is more of a health thing, I do feel like there's a little bit of a holistic nature behind here, and also you're on the road and the pathway to finding out and solving certain things around that. If not, this Man is just indicating that you're finally ready to head on this road. You're finally ready to make these big decisions, and you're thinking about yourself, and what you should be thinking about right now is yourself, and not about what other people might think and the things that they're going to desire for you, all that jazz. The Heart over here indicates that this would be similar to the Ace of Cups. And so this is like we're really getting our emotions together, we're filling up our own cup, and we're really on this road of like focusing on yourself rather than focusing on other people at the moment. And then over here we do have the 7 of Cups. So we're really deciding what we want to do, which is kind of what I was saying a little bit about the 5 of Spades over here. So I do feel like you might be worried about a certain decision that you're wanting to make, and you're finally ready to decide probably what direction you want to go in. Maybe this deals with wanting to move somewhere. Maybe this deals with a certain career that you're wanting to go towards, things like that. Maybe this also deals with travel, because the train can also indicate travel, especially when we have the trees as well. So it can indicate that we're ready to go out to nature, we're ready to like have a little getaway and stuff like that. And it might make some people mad, and they might look at you in a way of being like, wow, really? Like, I don't feel like this is a good thing for you, da 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 da. So it could bring up some issues with other people, but I do feel like there's probably travel in the books for you guys, especially if it's going towards nature and stuff like that. And nature can indicate like mountainous areas, it can indicate forests, it can indicate tropical places, it can indicate beaches, it can indicate all those different things, even though it does pop up as trees. Trees can come in all sorts of forms. They can be palm trees, they can be evergreen trees, they can be birch trees, they can be anything. It can even be flowers. So I do feel like there is an opportunity for travel around here, but I do feel like you guys are finally making some big decision in your life, especially in the timeline of the next 5 weeks. It is going to be a decision where you feel like you might be confused, because you might feel like you're making the wrong decision. That is a very interesting sounding motorbike outside right now. Sounded like It was a very tiny inch. I don't know. Anyway, I do feel like you guys might have like this bit of unsurety around the certain decision that you're making. But nonetheless, I feel like there's a decision being made in 5 weeks, but you guys might be a little bit unsure about it. Let's add some more cards to find out some more information and get a little bit more clarity on this. I do feel like this card wanted to come out, so we're going to do that one over here, which is the Weaver. I do also feel like this card is important, so we're going to throw that one over here, which is the Void. We're going to get one more card here from this deck. Ooh, we have two that really wanted to come out, so we're going to do that. So we have the Outlaw and the Revolutionary. Very interesting. Okay, so with these cards over here, we are making some big decisions. So we're weaving the web of our future, but again, I feel like there's this unsurety when we have the Void. We feel like there's some missing information. We don't really know what the outcome is going to look like based on this decision that we're making, but we're ready to make it nonetheless because we're kind of tired of where we've been, and we know that nothing's going to change unless we do kind of put our foot down and make a decision, which is why we have the Boot over here. This is about putting your foot down and finally making some big decisions for yourself. And the Outlaw kind of says that you're a bit of a rebel. You're kind of going against what other people might say, or what other people might desire for you, or what other people might think about your life and what you should be doing. So again, kind of like I was saying, there's going to be a little bit of disagreements, and you might make some people mad in the process of making this certain decision. The Outlaw is like, I do feel like they're going to, and you might feel a little bit left out because nobody kind of agrees with what you're doing or something like that. But the Revolutionary, you're going to create some big changes because of this. You're basically holding the commanding wand of your life, and this indicates that we're doing it with inspiration. We're doing it out of passion. And I will say, whatever energy you put into something is the energy that you get out of it. If you put anger into something, the reflection is going to be anger coming back. If you're in an argument with somebody and you throw anger over there, more or less that is the reflection that you're going to get back, or that is the emotion that you're going to feel back through the conversation at least. It doesn't mean that that other person might throw anger back at you, but you're going to feel that emotion regardless if you throw that emotion into it. If you throw inspiration into something, the outcome of what you're going to feel is inspiration. Of course, there's a bag of emotions all the time. Our universe is very complex, runs upon many different weaves. As we can see, she has strings around many of her fingers, and so we're pulling all these different strings. But the biggest things that you'll get back, as long as you continue with the emotion, with that same inspirational emotion, if you ever, put inspiration towards something and maybe it doesn't go right the first time, if you change your emotion of what you're putting towards it, it's going to also change the emotion that's going to be coming back at you. So continue with inspiration through the whole process, and the outcome will have to be inspiration at the very end of it. So I do want to mention that. I just feel like saying that when I look at these certain cards. But you're going to change your life up quite a bit through this decision, and it's going to be a revolution for you. So definitely keep that in mind. I'm going to shuffle these tarot cards to get some last bits of information before we end this reading. All right, so we're going to go with these tarot cards that just fell out, and we have the Queen of Wands over here, the King of Wands over here, and the Moon over here. Very similar to another pile. These cards came out literally in another pile, and I was clearly just shuffling it, and these cards came out again. So this is pretty significant. If you guys also chose the pile where these cards came out in that pile as well, then wow, this is definitely a huge message for you guys. But you're finally about to lead your own light. With the Revolutionary, this is a wand that's on fire, and then of course we have the King and the Queen of Wands. So this is acting on your own inspiration. In 5 weeks from now, you're going to need to make some sort of decision, and my advice through what the cards are saying and the important news that you need to know, make this decision out of your inspiration. What inspires you? What ignites your flame? That is the important thing to know. It is going to feel like you're entering the void with the Moon, Those are very, very similar cards. It feels like you're entering the unknown. But that is where revolutionary things happen, because if you enter something that you can predict the outcome in, it means you've already probably walked down that road, and that's why you can predict the outcome, is because you've been there before. You've done it. You know what the outcome looks like. And when you walk down those roads, you're going to be repeating the same life because you're walking down something that's predictable, something that you've already been down. It's kind of like walking in circles. You keep repeating and creating the same. So if you want to change your life, you're going to need to walk into the unknown. You're going to need to walk into the void to create the change that you desire. If you do it out of inspiration and you focus on what inspires you and walk down that road, you're going to create that. Even though it's an unknown road, you're not really sure what the outcome is going to be like. If you continue forward through it, of course there's going to be obstacles. But if you still push forward to it, you're going to reach the end of it eventually. That is inevitable. So if there is something that inspires you, I would say definitely go for it and give it your all. There's going to be challenges ahead. Nothing is easy. You don't just pick a path, walk down it, and the castle ends up being right smack dab when you take your first step. There's going to be obstacles in order to get there, but if you guys keep pushing through, you will get there. So that is my message for you, group number 4. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. All right, so pile number 5, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be a reading all about important news regarding your future. So let's hop right into it. All right, so pile number 5. I hope I said pile number 5 when we started this. I don't know if I said pile number 4. Anyway, pile number 5. Doesn't matter. Your first card coming up is the letter. This is the mail coming in. So we have the 7 of spades over here, which indicates the 7 of swords. So this can indicate that we don't know what's coming and it's a little bit unsure and it might put us on edge. So there is some news coming in very shortly. I do feel like this is within the next 2 months. I'm definitely feeling probably even sooner, maybe even in 1 week from now, but it is a general reading. So I'm going to give the timeline of 1 week to 2 months from now. You're going to get some news coming in. This always indicates a message of some kind, This is significant news though. Whenever this card comes up, it's not just like average news that's coming in, like we get an email, da-da-da-da-da. This is like some pretty significant news, and we're gonna add some more cards on it to find out a little bit more about what this news is indicating for us and what it is about. So the next 2 cards that we have here is the fireplace and the lightning bolt. So these are both pretty significant. So both of these indicate like a fiery type of energy, very electrifying, fiery, passionate energy. And of course it is ruled by the diamonds, which are essentially like the wands in tarot. So we have the 5 of wands over here and the 3 of wands over here. So this is looking out for new opportunities and also a little bit of kind of some conflicting energy. So there might be a little bit of conflicting energy. We are essentially raking in wood that then is going to sizzle over here, and we're going to ignite this new flame, this new idea with a jolt of energy. I feel like this news coming in is going to provide a big jolt of energy, some new news, stuff like that. So we're also going to add some more cards on here to find out a little bit more information, but yeah, essentially there's news coming in that's going to almost excite but cause a little bit of unsurety. It's gonna shock up your life. It's going to be a good shock, but it's definitely going to catch you off guard and put you in a little bit of an area where you might feel a little bit conflicted, because I feel like this news is going to change up your life quite a bit. So let's shuffle this deck over here to get a little bit more information on what is exactly happening over here. Okay, this card really wants to come out. So we have the Seeker over here. All right. I feel like it's these cards that want to come out right here. We have Ancestors, and then we have Sacred Destruction. Okay, so Sacred Destruction fits in really well with the whole lightning bolt energy happening. So this is like, I think it's going to change up your life quite a bit, the news that you're getting in, but The sacred destruction always indicates that there's a purpose behind it. It's like purposeful, shaken up type of energy. So yeah, the news that's coming in is definitely going to be a jolt. It's going to maybe shock you a little bit, but it's going to take you to a better place. Even if it seems kind of like crazy at first, I do feel like this is going to move you into a pretty good place. Then we also do have the Seeker over here. So I do feel like you're going to be receiving, there's going to be benefits to this. And I feel like this is kind of like an ever-growing sort of news that's coming in. And you're not really going to see the positives in it right away, but there will be positives when we have the Ancestors cards. But this is a little bit slow burning. As we can see the fire over here, like at first it ignites the fire with like a quick jolt, but the fire is a little bit more slow burning. So I do feel like this is going to, it's going to change up your life for sure, but in a very like almost unpredictable way. I do feel like this is quite unpredictable, but there is positives to this, and I feel like you're going to be receiving at the end of it, but at first it's going to just be like, whoa, crazy stuff going on. And I do definitely want to shuffle the tarot for a little bit and get a few more cards, a little bit more info, that doesn't even make sense, a little bit more info on this to clarify some of the stuff that's happening here. All right, okay, we got a ton that just fell out over here on the floor. So we have 4 cards over here, and we have the Devil, then we have the Emperor, and then we have the 7 of Cups, and then we have the 4 of Swords, and that's actually quite interesting. So the 7 of Swords that's over here, and the 7 of Cups, the number 7 is definitely sticking out to me. So this is usually when we have to act a lot on our faith and a lot on our belief. And so if you can hopefully change your belief systems to believing that there is good happening through this, I feel like it's going to help you out quite a bit. The Emperor over here, just stay on top. Definitely just stay on top. I feel like you're also, whatever shift is happening right now and whatever shift is coming into your life will lead you to a point of gaining a lot and gaining a lot of self-confidence. But I feel like it's going to put you at a position of needing to make very strong decisions, of needing to kind of release yourself. And this shocking news is coming in to release you from bad habits, toxic people. There might even be some sort of news coming into your life where it can be like a certain thing happening with maybe a friend of yours, possibly a family member, but somehow I feel like there might be a relationship that's leaving your life. This could also be a partnership, lover or something, but someone that doesn't exactly live up to the expectations of a good, influential person. The Devil usually comes up when we're tied to something a little bit toxic or somebody that doesn't have the best intentions for us. And I feel like there might be some shocking truth coming in very soon, or you might see something that gives you more insight onto a person's true nature. And I do feel like you're gonna have to make some pretty big decisions because of it. And it might feel like it's a negative experience during the time of going through it, and it might be a bit shocking, but I do feel like the outcome of this, you're going to receive something so much better at the end of it, and I feel like it's going to open up the opportunity to fill up that void and that space with something that actually does appreciate you and your time and stuff like that. So I do feel like you are being untied from something that you might not even realize is a little bit toxic to you or holds you back in some type of way, something that doesn't serve your highest interest. So that is what the news is, and the sacred destruction that I feel like is coming in. And again, it'll lead you to having to make some pretty big decisions where you're gonna have to put on your big girl pants or your big boy pants for a little bit and make some pretty tough decisions. With the 7 of Cups over here, again, I do feel like you might be a little bit confused because you might be feeling like there is so many options and so many outcomes and you're not really sure which one to pick. You're not really sure how to handle this situation. But I will say that I feel like your intuition, your gut is going to tell you a lot. Your heart might be telling you one thing and your mind might be telling you one thing. Listen to your gut through this. I can say that that is one thing that will never lead you wrong, is your gut instincts of knowing deeply how things are going to progress and go. Four of Swords indicates that we usually need to take some time to think about it. So don't make a quick decision right away, but I do feel like you guys are going to have to make a decision, obviously. The Four of Swords can mean that we get a lot of insight when we are alone and when we relax and when we have an opportunity to kind of meditate or even sleep. It can be that our answers come through us through dreams. So that is one thing that you guys should definitely pay attention to when you're going through this particular situation. But it is going to lead you to something very positive. When we have the Emperor and we have the Seeker, which is about receiving, this tells me that you guys are going to make room in your life for something so much better that will be coming to you. And it's sacred destruction, meaning that there's a very good outcome, and this is for your highest good. So that is what I see for you guys. Pile number 5. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. All right, so my last pile number 6. If you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about important news regarding your future. So let's hop right into it. All right, so pile number 6, our first card that we start off with over here is the Anchor. And this card is telling me that you guys are learning how to commit. You guys are learning how to stick to one thing and actually rest your boat for a little while and not be all up over the place. You guys are definitely learning how to commit to something, and our next cards are going to tell us exactly what we are committing to. But I do want to point out that over here we have the 9 of Spades, which is the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords can indicate that we're having sleepless nights about things, and the reason why we're having sleepless nights is because we're all up over the place. This can be anxiety, stuff like that. The way to fix that is through commitment and making strong decisions. The reason why you might have a lot of anxiety right now is because you're unsure of what choice to make, you're unsure about if you're on the right path, and everything is up in the air. You haven't exactly committed to something. The way that your anxiety is going to go away and that you're going to be able to have a sleepful night, a restful night, is by anchoring, committing to a certain idea, a certain choice, a certain path, a certain person, da-da-da-da-da. Finally making a choice. This doesn't mean that you have to commit to the thing that you're thinking about. This can also mean just you're committing to not going down that path. So you're either committing to not or you're committing to. So let's add some more cards to find out exactly what this is indicating. So we have the handshake and then we have the clover over here. So the clover is always good luck. So good thing we have luck on our side. It doesn't really matter which decision that you make because I think both outcomes are usually pretty good over here. Then we also have the 2 of Swords. So this can indicate that we're very unsure about a certain opportunity that we're getting. The handshake can be a business partnership. This can also be a commitment to a certain person because again, we have 2 different people over here. So this can be talking about love, certain partnerships, friendships, business partnerships, certain agreements, certain contracts that we're signing, things like that. So if you guys are dealing with a situation like that, usually this is pretty quick when we have the Spades that we're dealing with. This is within the next couple days or a couple weeks or a few weeks that we're dealing with here. So this is something that is pretty immediate in your life that you might even be facing right now. So important news regarding your future. You guys are going to need to make a very solid decision to get over your worries or your anxieties at the moment. And this is all about a certain contract you're signing or a commitment that you're making, whether that be business or personal. The clover over here indicates that pretty much no matter what we choose, we're going to come out on top over here. So that is a really good, some really good news. We do have the 6 of Wands as our kind of playing card over here. The 6 of Diamonds indicates the 6 of Wands in tarot. So this usually indicates that we're coming out on top and we're going to have some pretty good success. So I wouldn't worry about this too strongly, but to find out a little bit more information on exactly what part of this decision you're making, I would say that this is actually a very good thing to commit to, whatever it is. I don't feel like you guys are backing out of this commitment. I feel like you guys are committing to it. So if there is a certain contract to sign, if there is a certain person that you're wondering if you should commit to or a certain business partnership, something like that, I would say that this looks all really, really good. But let's add some more cards on here. All right, so here are our cards that decided to come out. We have 3 different ones here. We have Dare to Dream, beautiful message coming out there. Then we also have Nature over here. And then we have the Sovereign. So the Sovereign did come out in another group as well. So if you guys were attracted to that, that would be very interesting. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys got this in another group. If you guys did happen to pick multiple groups, if you guys are only drawn to one, that's great as well. But if you guys were drawn to two and you guys ended up picking the other one that had this card, that would be very interesting, I think. So Dare to Dream. Sometimes it can be hard to dream and desire certain things because we don't know what the outcome is going to be. So this is the card indicating that it is time to take a chance. It is the time to, you know, take a chance, put your heart on the line. This is usually an investment sometimes because we do have the diamond and the claw, so it can indicate that we're making a big investment, or we are, you know, ready to give our resources and commit to somebody else and have like a shared thing over here, and we're ready to open up this doorway. Of course, always protect your own resources because we do still have the claw over top of this jewel, but we're able to still both see the jewel and value it and respect it, but you are still owning it on your side. So definitely keep that in mind if you are committing to someone. I would say definitely, you know, put your heart out there, but don't give it away, essentially is what it's saying. Open your heart up to receiving the love and admiration from another, but this is about not, you know, fully giving it to somebody, because I find that that's usually actually where relationships kind of get a little bit toxic, because if we do end up fully giving ourselves away to another, we lose a lot of control, and anything that they do can end up hurting us, because if they don't live up to our expectations, it ends up hurting. But if you put your heart out there to receive love and give love, and of course this jewel or heart can give love and it can receive love by that admiration, of course, because we're able to see it, but we don't exactly give it away and have the other person have full control over it. So that's kind of what that indicates over there. Over here we have this nature card, which we have two birds over top of this acorn. So I do believe that there is some sort of partnership that again is being made over here, since we have the two birds and then the two hands. And of course the birds are shaking hands and these people are shaking hands. So there is some sort of partnership that you guys might be debating right now. And I do feel like it's going to be quite prosperous because we do have the acorn. So this is planting a new tree, planting a new thing that is going to eventually then grow. There's a lot of good luck through this partnership. So if you guys are questioning something right now regarding something like that, I would say this all looks pretty positive and is going to offer a lot of growth over here. And then we do also have the Sovereign. So this is a card of like remaining peaceful, not getting too worked up about anything, and making like very peaceful, good, fair contracts, decisions, and commitments. So things have to be very fair. This is like, you know, letting the other person win some and you're winning some. It's not just like one-sided floppy flop. This is letting both parties win equally and both feel like they came out on top. So I'm going to shuffle some tarot cards and we're going to add on our last few cards to finish off this reading. All right, so I do feel like the Chariot's obviously wanting to come out, so we're going to pull that card. This is such a big deck, it can be hard to shuffle sometimes. All right, and then we also have the Three of Swords. Let's try to get one more out here. I feel like most piles are getting three, so we're gonna do that one right there. All right, so the Six of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Chariot. So if you guys are worried about making a new commitment because of maybe you've been hurt in the past or things like that, it's probably why you are able to still make this commitment, but dare to dream. Of course, we still hold on to our values, we still hold on to our heart, things like that, but we're able to move on and explore something new, even though we do probably still have a couple worries. But the Six of Swords indicates that, again, we're moving away from something, we're moving away from our past by making this commitment. We're able to move on with our new future and create a new future, which is also why we have the Chariot coming out. So you guys are definitely headed in a new direction by making this commitment. I do feel like this commitment is going to be made in the next little while. I do want to mention we are going through a bunch of retrogrades right now, so if you guys are watching this around the time that I posted it, like within the month to 2 months that I've posted this, there might still be some of the retrogrades happening, so definitely look out for that. Sometimes it's kind of bad to make certain commitments during retrogrades, so definitely keep that in mind. But of course, there is certain retrogrades that do end up aspecting your chart, I'm talking about astrology right here if you guys don't know, that end up aspecting your chart very well, and so sometimes it's actually very positive to make certain decisions and certain commitments during that time. But definitely keep that in mind if you guys are watching this around a period of a lot of retrogrades, so definitely keep that in mind for in terms of making certain commitments. But you guys are headed in that direction, all that jazz. This can also indicate that we're not fully making the decision yet, but we're putting it out there and letting the other person know, or the other partner involved, or whatever you guys are dealing with. We're sending an offer, but we're not exactly putting every single foot in, but you guys do need to anchor to it. You guys do need to make a full decision when we have the anchor card as our first card and the most main card that came out. So definitely keep that in mind, pile number 6. That is what I see for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.